I'm Rob Hawkins from Car Mechanics magazine. This is Mark Shipman from AES near York, who helps us with a lot of features in the magazine, electronic diagnostics and service bay articles in particular as well. We're here today because I wanted to look at a scanner, a Bluetooth scanner from Topdon. It's called the TopScan. Tiny little device. I've just looked online and I found it on Amazon for under £70. And it's a plug-in device into the OBD2 port, which is the standard port on cars nowadays. And then it communicates with a mobile phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android operated phone. It's got its own software for communicating on the phone to check the car and to check for faults. The only downside with that £70 is that you only get a year's subscription, and then you've got to pay again, which starts off, well, in this case, online it says $49 upwards for another year's subscription, so just about £40 each time. Now, Mark, when I'm looking at this, I've tested quite a lot of different plug-in devices that are cheap and aimed at the DIY market. Yep. You obviously use the professional equipment from Topdon. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a market for this?
I do. For instance, if you're servicing your car at home, a lot of cars need the air cleaner off to do spark plugs.
Yep.
A lot of the air cleaner boxes have a sensor in. Quite easy to forget to plug one of the sensors in. If your light comes on, a lot of cars won't go off even when you plug the sensor back in.
Yep.
So it physically needs clearing.
Yeah. So you've earned your money already.
You do. Traditionally, you'd have to take that to a garage.
Yep.
And you'd probably be looking something similar to just clear the light.
Yes, and I guess things like oil reset
exactly.
services and reset service lights as well.
Yeah.
You can do. And if the engine management light just comes up, certainly I've been testing this and I've seen that even hidden faults with parking sensors and things can be detected. So it's quite an in-depth scan.
It does a lot for the money.
Let's have a look at it anyway. I'm going to give you that to go and plug into a car.
No problems.
And then I'll get this started up on the computer, on the phone. Okay, so it's connected into a Kia Sportage.
Yeah, 14 plate.
14 plate, that's a 1.7 diesel, I think.
It is.
Great, let's start the app. TopScan. So the TopScan app that we've downloaded already. We'll go straight into the diagnostics. And now this is one thing with this app in particular, is that you've got to download
model specific.
Model specific,
yeah. Manufacturer specific.
Yeah. Now I've already done that, so we should be okay. Let's see if it runs through. We'll automatically connect to the VIN of the car to see if it recognises it. So it's automatically scanning that. Yep, it's found something.
Very quick.
I'll confirm that. Sportage SL is what the car we plugged it into. Straight away, 2013 model, 14 plate, 1.7 diesel, that's great, so looking okay. And straight away, this is what I like about this particular app from Topdon, is that it's simple, it's straightforward.
It is.
Very easy for the DIYer, I guess.
Yeah.
You've got two options, your diagnosis.
Or your hot functions.
Hot functions, I guess, is things like resetting.
It is electric parking brake, resetting.
Yeah.
If you want, you'd need that if you wanted to do your rear pads and your electric parking brake. You'd have to turn the parking brake off.
Back that off. Right, let's have a look at the diagnosis, shall we? And I'll run through a full scan. So it's an automatic scan. It's giving me lots of things here to do with the engine, the airbags, even automatic headlamp leveling. It will scan
anything with an ECU. It'll find.
Appreciate from a diagnostic point of view, you do want something that's actually in depth.
You do. If, for argument's sake, if you had an electric parking brake issue, that could be ABS related.
Yes.
Not essentially in the electric parking brake ECU.
So
you'd need to do a full global scan
to
see if there's any other faults anywhere else.
Yes. Right.
So
far so good. Yeah, this is, and it's not too bad. Well, we've already got a fault already. It looks like EPS, electronic power steering, has brought up a fault, which we can have a read in a minute and see what it is. But other than that, it's running through pretty quick. Smart key unit doesn't exist, so it's recognised that and just knocked it out. And the rest of the time, it's just coming up with no diagnostic trouble codes, no DTCs as such. And there you go, we've finished, we're done. So that scan didn't take too long.
That's a full car, so
Let's have a look at the fault that it's picked up on the electronic power steering. If I read the DTC, I want to see if this is going to help anybody. So I can see straight away it's given me a fault code, in this case C1692. Can I find out any more about it? Yep, it can give me a full description, and I can even produce a report and confirm that, and then save that report
can, yeah.
Which I guess gives me a lot of in-depth information there. It's not only just the car itself, but it's what the fault is, the full description of it,
Yeah.
and everything else I can see. So yeah, it does at least help you to dig through. Let's look at those other functions we've got then. So if I go through and bring it out, I've got my hot functions instead. I can see I can do some brake bleeding there. So I guess that's all ABS related.
It is, or if you change some brake pipes, you'd have to bleed it.
Of course.
You'd need to get into the ABS to purge it for the air.
Yep. So it's gone on the days of just pressing the brake pedal.
Yeah, yep, sadly.
Yeah. There's a few things there I'd be concerned about. DPF, for example, it looks as though I can do a DPF regen as such, but would you recommend running through that?
Generally not a fan. If your DPS blocked, there's generally another underlying issue somewhere.
Yep.
They don't just block up on their own. If they do, the vehicle will regen it anyway.
Yes.
So I'm not a fan of forcing the regen.
Another fault. I guess that's where your diagnostics would come in,
It would,
it?
yeah.
At least, but at least there's something there. Now in this case, I can't do a service reset, but I guess in other cases I have seen it.
Yeah, I think you can do that one on the buttons on the dash.
Ah, right.
So it's not
in that
a pure
case,
electronic one.
Don't need to go through that. Yeah.
But that would be
Great.
in there if it was there.
So that's impressive, isn't it? For
Very.
something that, admittedly, it's a year's subscription, but you've got some dedicated diagnostics there and some dedicated service resets as well.
Definitely.
Okay, so that's our review of the Topdon TopScan. It's a Bluetooth connected device to look at diagnostic trouble codes and to be able to reset certain items on a vehicle. If you're interested in more information or you're interested in buying it, have a look at the links in the description. Thanks for watching the review. See you next time.